What was your black swan moment? I was sitting in an Italian restaurant with my best friend Ellie when I got the text. It was my boyfriend Derek. Come over ASAP, we need to talk. I rolled my eyes because by this point I was already sick of his BS. We'd only been together for 2 months, and already I felt trapped, used, and just all around depressed. But I was raised by parents who had been together for over 30 years, so I was always taught to work through problems instead of leaving. Plus, I really did love him. Little did I know, he was getting ready to tell me something that made me wish we never met. I told Ellie about it, and she told me to call her afterwards and reminded me that she'd always be there. I thanked her, and as I drove to Derek's, the overthinking kicked in. When I made it to his college dorm, he hugged me and welcomed me in. I remember sitting at the edge of the bed, curled up in a ball and bracing myself for what's to come. He took out his laptop and showed me his website earnings. After a year of grinding, he had finally made a profit of $50. I stared at him blankly, not knowing where this was going. Babe, as you can see, I'm going to be rich soon. I nodded, with a straight-faced emoji expression plastered on my face. So, I'm gonna need you to step up and start going to the gym. My face contorted into a shape I didn't even think was possible due to the limitations of facial muscular structure. Derek then took out his phone, went into his camera roll, and proceeded to show me dozens of screenshots of corn stars who I had nothing in common with, aside from our race, Asian. He told me that because his ambition was high, he could now, in theory, get any girl he wanted. And if I didn't start working to attain his dream body type, then he would have no choice but to break up with me. Tears stung my eyes. I thought about all the times I had critiqued myself in the mirror, all the times I found myself crying in the dressing room, how I had always reassured myself with the knowledge that my boyfriend thinks I'm beautiful, but that was a lie. Derek wrapped his arms around me and proceeded to tell me that I deserved better. Or in his words, someone that would choose my body type out of a row of faceless, unclothed girls, instead of someone else's. I used all the strength I had to push him off me, and he asked if I wanted to spend the night together. That actually made me laugh. I ended up leaving, calling Ellie, and staying with her. When I got there, I told her and her mom everything, and they laughed. They reminded me of how I was worthy of love, how I didn't have to take any of this, and how my self-worth shouldn't be determined by a narcissist. Later that night, after yapping with Ellie until 3 a.m., we decided to show each other our LinkedIns. We decided to stalk Derek's account for some fun, and that's when we noticed someone. Derek's boss was connected with Ellie. This made me laugh aloud. I still don't know what came over me and Ellie. Maybe it was the high I felt after crying for so long, or maybe it was the fact we were two 19-year-olds awake past midnight. But we started joking about what would happen if I screwed Derek's boss. Ellie laughed and said he'd probably pick me over Derek to work there any day. For context, Derek was a real estate agent's assistant, and his boss was FINE. Like, imagining us getting married and having pretty babies fine. And Ellie knew of him because she and Derek lived in the same area, and she knew that his boss was known for sleeping around with girls our age. So I sent Derek's boss a connection request. The next morning, I got post-nighttime clarity and freaked out. But Ellie convinced me to keep him as a connection, so I did. And sometime over the next few days, he reached out to me asking if I was looking for a job. His text made me blush, especially when I saw that he was just 23. So after waiting a few days to avoid coming off as too strong, I told him I wasn't, and asked if he wanted to grab drinks. Ellie was beside me when I sent that text, and we both giggled. I manually turned my phone off out of fear for what he would say. A few hours later, I saw that he had said yes. My heart rushed. I couldn't believe it was actually happening. The whole thing had made me completely forget about Derek. This wasn't even for him anymore. It was for me. When we met up, his cologne intoxicated my 19-year-old hormones, and I wanted him. Bad. So when he invited me back to his place, I accepted. But right after making love, I was hit with this emptiness. It genuinely felt like every sad thing that's ever happened to me was all hitting me at once. So I cried. And Derek's boss, Max, the gentleman that he is, held me. The words poured out of me about how I was Derek's ex, everything he had done to me, everything he had said about him, Max. And Max just sat there in silence. For some reason, none of it seemed to surprise him. He reassured me that I was beautiful and ended up spooning me until I fell asleep. But when I woke up, he wasn't there, and I had 37 missed calls from Derek. Turns out I had gotten revenge on Derek, but not in the way I thought. I can't finish the story in this short video. The full video is on my channel and linked below.